Hi, my name is Shaylin Klinger, and I am here to talk about my community presentation. The community that I'm going to be talking about is actually Prince William County, Virginia. So it's the county as a whole. Prince William County is actually a suburb of Washington, D.C., or the D.C. metro area, so it's considered to be Northern Virginia. So just some facts about Prince William County and then a map here. Again, it's part of the Northern Virginia or the DC metro region. It contains the cities of Haymarket, Nokesville, Bristow, Gainesville, Dale City, Woodbridge, Manassas, which is actually where I live, and then Manassas Park. It's flanked by the Potomac River, and then it has the Occoquan River that runs through it. And it's known for Prince William County Forest Park, Leesylvania State Park, which is right there on the Potomac, and then Quantico Marine Corps Base. That's a huge training center for the Marines, and a base that they're stationed at, and then Manassas National Battlefield Park. So a little quick brief history about Manassas. It is, or Prince William County, it is a historic area. Original settlers were part of the Algonquin tribe, and they were forced to abandon their village when John Smith arrived in the 1700s. He actually came up through that Potomac River and landed there in Alexandria when they were settling that DC area. So it's interesting to know that that was originally part of Prince William County. So original settlers from John Smith were here in the county. Prince William itself was created by an act of General Assembly in 1731, and it was named after Prince William, who was the Duke of Cumberland. He was the third son of King George. And kind of very interesting kind of local lore here is that the battles of Bull Run, also known as the First and Second Battle of Manassas, happened at Manassas National Battlefield Park. And why that's important is that the first Battle of Bull Run was actually the first major battle marking the beginning of the Civil War. So they have done quite a bit to kind of keep up those battlefield parks and keep them historically correct and educate the general public about the Civil War. So let's talk about demographics in Prince William County. The county itself is 336.4 square miles. And as of 2016, there were 455,210 residents, which meant there was about 1,195 people per square mile. Age distributions are interesting. So there was 7.5% in 2005 people that were under the age of 5, 27.6 people under the age of 18. Persons that were 65 and older was 9.1%. And females and males are just about half as far as the diversity, the community separation there. The median age of residents is 34, so I'm right there at the median age. Race distributions is predominantly white, so 48.7%. There's 19.5 Black or African American, 1.1% American Indian, 7.5% Asian alone, 0.2% Native Hawaiian Pacific Islander, 2 or more races identified at 3.4%, and then 20.3% at Hispanic or Latino. So I've gone ahead and included a graph here from city data breaking down the races. Economics. So the median home rate in this area is $333,100. So it is one of the lower costs for the general DC metro area. The median rent is $1,547, and the median household income in 2015 was $99,650, with the average household size of 3 people. Majority of people here, 69%, are private wage or salary employees. 18% work from the government. We are about a 45-minute drive without traffic to Washington, D.C. I will tell you that with traffic, it will take you about an hour and a half one way to get to Washington, D.C. Again, it's about 20 miles. So just kind of think about that as far as density of population in this area. And then 13% are self-employed. So again, I've included a graph of this information here, Prince William County compared to the Virginia average as a whole. Education system. Actually, Prince William County boasts the second largest education school system in Virginia. It has 57 elementary schools, 16 middle, 13 high schools, a virtual high school, 2 traditional schools, 3 special educational schools, and 2 alternative schools, which is really amazing to have that wealth of education and information here. It's also associated with 6 institutions for higher learning, including Northern Virginia Community College and George Mason University, who, you know, if you watch college basketball, made news not too long ago. So I've included a graph here of kind of the diversity of where everyone is falling, age ranges from nursery to graduate or professional school, how many people are here in this county versus the Virginia average. Crime rates, I didn't find a ton of data on, but I do know that there was 39.7, I don't know what a 0.7 is, as far as homicides go. It's less than the Virginia average. 21 of those were from firearm deaths, and 18.7 were from other means of death. Religion. So we have, again, another variety of religion across the board here. We have Catholic, Evangelical Protestants, mainline Protestants, Black Protestants, others. What I found interesting here was that the majority still were affiliated with no religion at all. So 256,834 people in this county do not associate with the religion. Even there's several churches, for example, 131 Evangelical Protestant churches in the area. So it's not a lack of resources, it's just a choice. So down to my good community assessment. I've included here a picture of our, it's called Downtown or Old Town Manassas, is one of the many events that Old Town holds, and they hold several during the year. So according to good community assessment, one of the things that you should look at is safety. So I know that, again, data shows that homicide rate is lower than the state average, and there are relatively few natural disasters. We may get a few big snowstorms, but our county is quick to act, and we have the resources needed to clear the roads and help the people that need help, including homeless shelters that pop up during cold weather issues. As far as goods and services go, we have 64 grocery stores in the county, 4 club stores, multiple local farmers markets, and then we have a very large outlet mall that's located right off of 95, or Interstate 95. Relationships, our town creates a lot of opportunities through events, parades. There's a Veterans Parade coming this weekend. There's actually, they'll close down the streets there downtown for the veterans to go through. There is a Christmas tree lighting ceremony downtown where they have the community come out. They have horses and carriages, and the next morning there's a Christmas parade. They do that for, they also do that for Halloween, and they do it for St. Patrick's Day too. So, and Friday nights they shut down the town again, and it's First Fridays, and people walk through the towns. They have specials, promote small business. So it's really, they are trying to foster and build relationships. You can see commonality through multiple religious institutions. So there's many opportunities for that. And as far as focusing on the whole person and what people relate to, there's a lot of groups offered through our local libraries and community centers. For example, I have a 2-year-old, and I know that the local libraries have tons of moms groups or opportunities for kids to go through reading or music and things of that nature to connect people to one another. The libraries also offer opportunities for people of similar interest groups, meaning there's a quilting, there's a scrapbooking, there's a history, there's a computer, I mean, you name it, they have interest groups that you can attend for that. I would say that the life here is fairly predictable. So day-to-day interaction and growth is stable, and again, there's relatively few natural disasters or things that we have to be concerned about here. One thing that I think that we can work on is, because it's such a large, busy community, our social structure is such that if you aren't actively engaged in a particular group, you may get lost in the sauce, and so people may not notice if you're gone or not. So that could be improved slightly. There is a lot of opportunity here. This is one of the areas that was not that hard hit by the recession, and so there's tons of growth opportunities financially through employment, and we're continuing to develop our land. So there's a lot of building going on. A lot of people are moving here as growth continues. This is a big draw for federal government workers. They don't want to live in the city. Prices are higher there, so they will do the drive to live out here where it's more suburban and then live in the city. And I would say that while our population is mostly white, there is still a variety of race, religion, ethnic backgrounds, financial backgrounds, educational backgrounds that really influence our community. So just as a side note, I lived here in the 90s when we were looking for houses. I wasn't really sure I wanted to come back because there was a lot of crime. There was a lot of things that weren't going on. They were not having these local markets, and they weren't doing the shutting the street down and having community events. And Prince William County has worked really hard to kind of repopulate and grow and create this community feel, and I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to see them do it. Thank you for listening to me, and I look forward to listening to your presentations too. Bye-bye.